Terrible. Okay, is audio working? Yes, it is. How's everyone doing today? I'm late? Am I? I thought I started it just on, right on time. Did I fail? How's everyone doing? Um, Steel, Eric, Darthon, Caesar. Unfortunately, there's no Klingon ships on this one. I'm sorry. Pretora, Jeff, Rauken, Defiant, Documents, Sean, Chiaps. Yeah, the stats are pretty rough. Waldo, those storms that came through last night, that was, it may just be that it's been a little bit since the last storm, but I think that was the hardest I've heard the rain coming down so far this year. Sorry, my chat bot on the prompter, it's a little bit behind. Picard, how's it going? Look healthy, good to see you. Doing all right, trying to get over the Merrick Worker side dread. Yeah, Merrick Worker just needs a revamp so bad. Every time I see Merrick Worker on a ship, especially when it's not in the primary seed, it's rough. Yeah, I know. Now Fox Extender trait. I do believe we're gonna get a Fox Extender. They are very, very aware that we want one. I think it's just a matter of time. Hundis, you're very sleepy. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't even know what time it'd be for you over there. Yeah, Darthon, I know. Ethan? So, I mean, the bundle's not the worst purchase ever in the game, but it's definitely not the best. Johnny, how's it going? By the way, guys, there's some giveaways up over in the CasualSAB Discord. I'll be talking about them in a news video tomorrow, along with some additional giveaways that'll be starting up. But the 4 currently up are courtesy of Johnny here. So it's for PC, it's a T6 coupon, a T6 Lobby ship, a T6 Infinity Lockbox ship, and a T6 promo, all in the CasualSAB Discord. Fall extender on a 5/3 tack focus sovereign, and I can forgive this bundles. The thing is, the visuals of these ships do look really good. I've leveled up all 3 of the ships now, and I'm not going to be flying these ships on the stream here. I'm doing exactly what the title says, at least on YouTube, and I'm focusing on testing the accessories, because that's ultimately where the value is going to come from for people. If you're not necessarily focused on the the visual side, if you're looking for performance reasons to go for the bundle, it's not with the ships. The ships are just based on the raw stats of the ships. They're not up to the quality standard of what we see from every other ship released into the game nowadays. The bar was raised for ships being added into the game to have dual specializations when it became standard place for even event ships to have dual specialization combos. And having paid ships with just single specialization combos, it is rough. Very, very rough. And especially Merrick Worker on a science ship, that's rough. So we're gonna focus on the accessories here. So let me make sure I've got all of them on hand, and I'm going to be swapping over to my standard baseline ship, the Mirror Angle, to do the testing. I was expecting something Atlas related, since they made an effort to put out the remastered texture in last week. Well, Thomas hinted that there's going to be a new Atlas incoming. It's pretty bad, Stu. Like, you know how Merrick Worker is, And it's on a size ship. I mean, you can still make this ship work. I mean, you can make any tier 6 ship work, but it's not good. Like this is just a really weak ship. It's a mess, yeah. You can't fly it as a side build. I'm about to test that. I haven't tested any of the consoles or traits yet toward the experimental weapon. Yeah, though I would recommend you don't use the experimental upgrades. I would recommend you sell those and then you use upgrades that you obtained via Phoenix. You've only picked up the Warden so far. I just hope they don't do anything to that Starship trait. The Okinawa is, of the 3 ships, the Okinawa's got the best bridge officer layout, but that's because it's all universal. On a new ship, the Proxima console's D tier at best. Okay, you know what? Let's start off with that one. I'll drop sequential warhead loader, and I'm gonna put the new one on. Dan, thank you for the bits. Where did my monitor go? There it is. Yeah. It really is. I don't understand why every other ship released in the past couple of, well, every other ship release aside from these summer bundles nowadays is dual specialization. I don't understand why we're still getting single specialization ships. Bearcat, you're fine. I'm sorry to hear you were dealing with lag right there. Okay. I'm going to put the first console on here. So let's start with the Proxima one, which is, what's the name of it here? Side pulse phasers. So I want to see how this compares to the Kerala broadside console. Now the cooldown on this one is much lower, so I should be able to use it quite a bit more. Sorry, let me see what I missed here. Yeah, pulse phasers. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the console visuals as well. Dan, how's it going? Okay. Let's do this first run here. I'm just going to run the side pulse phasers instead of the sequential warhead loader. And I just, really the question is, how does this compare to the broadside console? I'm going to be running both of them at the same time, and we'll see how it goes. It's different visuals, and apparently it was what the ship did in the game. You can make it work, but Merc Worker Bridge Officer abilities aren't going to get involved. Yeah. Like I've said, the Merc Worker just needs like a revamp. But the issue is because of the Universal Console, if they make Merc Worker too good, then that Universal Console slot becomes an issue. Dan, thank you for the British pound there. Much appreciated. Yeah, the Okinawa, if it would have had a Lieutenant Commander command, would have been really interesting. I know Triz really was hoping for the Proxima to have command seating as well. Is the ship that I was scrambling to get a box for the Voth ship that Bort leaked? How much of that ship did Bort leak? I mean, I know that Bort accidentally leaked that there's a tier 6 version of the Voth bulwarking coming. But to answer, no, that's not what I was getting boxes for. All of these ships would have been better with command secondary. Bort leaked the trait and the gear setup. The trade on that one, isn't it? If I recall,
The situation is grim. All attempts to hail the starbase have failed.
I best
We must assume
I'm not going to say anymore. The pic showed a uni seat, so yeah, Merrick worker. Basis, how's it going? So for any of you, you know, just tuning in wondering why I'm not in one of the new ships, the new ships, they're not really anything special when it comes to the SAT side. The question is the traits and consoles, and that's what I'm testing here. How do they actually stack up when you're, you know, looking at them in a parse compared to some of our existing consoles? That's the big question here.
God. Additional data is available.
Because I bought out on the left side. Yeah, you get to use it a lot, which is really quite nice. If I can get to the other side now. Yeah, you get to use that a lot. Like I've hit it like 3 or 4 times already. As soon as the gate dies, I'm going to log out. If my logout button works. So we're gonna basically go until I kill the gate, and then we're gonna look at parses. But yeah, that console gets to go off quite a bit. Would I replace an isomag with this console? That's what I'm testing right now. Have the servers been getting any better lately? I primarily play solo nowadays. It depends on the map. Like I was trying to do solo Corfezes the other day, and I couldn't get through the first phase. Like I just could not consistently get abilities to activate. Okay, so the full broadside console off the Corolla in that run did 227k. And the console off of the Proxima did quite a bit less. So 31k and 27. Basically works out to about 58k right there. So that did right around a quarter of what full broadside did for me. Yeah. So a quarter of what full broadside did. That's yeah, that's a bit underwhelming. Like full broadside's pretty OP. OP is not the right word to use. I don't want to give them any ideas. Yeah, I mean you can use it a lot. It just does substantially less damage. Yeah. I mean, not all of the broadside stuff performs well. The Vengeance console, for instance, happens to suck quite a bit. This is better than the Vengeance console, but it's not. It's not at the level of the Corolla console. Please don't give them ideas to nerf it. Yeah. Bob, I am just beginning my testing right now. I know others have done testing. The only thing that I've done today, aside from that video, is level the ships up, just so I could have all the traits on hand for this stream. I haven't gone to anything else yet. Yeah, I did not watch the stream. I didn't watch it live. I did try to skim through it at 2 times speed. about 45 minutes ago, I went through and listened to a couple sections, and I didn't hear that comment, but yeah, that starship trait is doing really well right now, so it won't surprise me if it gets it. We get to the chopper. The thing is, I was using both every time I could use them, pretty much. Well, the Corolla console I was using at the points I'm used to using it, but the other one I was popping off pretty much, whenever I could, because it was able to be activated so much more. It was around 52 or 53-minute mark. Yeah, so that's another factor too, is if they're going to potentially nerf the anything that's performing really well from this, then you may want to hold off on purchasing anything until they've done some balance passes. The Hellbore trait off the Warden. Let's see. Oh, Hammer, thank you for the Prime sub. Sorry, I just noticed that. Yeah, all my sound notifications got bricked. I'm reinstalling Windows here in the near future, so I think instead of just pulling my existing OBS settings, I'm just gonna reset everything from the ground up. Yeah. Okay. So that is one of the items tested here. Now, the next one I want to take a look at is dual plasma charge launcher. But I also would like to try out the experimental weapon off of the Okinawa. Yeah, Americat. That is a bit frustrating. The some of the 15th bundle consoles, if I recall, and some of those accessories are still really bad. Why did I remove the Saturday stream from YouTube? I was a bit grumpy that day. I've been a bit grumpy a lot recently, just a lot of real life stuff going on, and I just like this. Just take that one down. I don't know. I was feeling grumpy that over the weekend. I think there was a comment that I got that was like I'd really upset someone, and I was like I don't want to deal with this right now, so I just nuked it. Okay, so I am now testing the dual plasma charge launcher from the Okinawa and the Okinawa's experimental weapon. Can I repeat? I think it was me ranting about the console user interface, and it upset someone. I have found so far that the console interface is extremely restrictive, and I think I was like really ranting about it.
The situation is grim.
And I think I upset someone. Hovering over the Okinawa buy button. Yeah, I think that user interface deserves a lot of criticism. It needs work. It needs help. But me complaining about it when I'm just in a shitty mood just isn't productive for anyone. Now, the Okinawa console does have like a shorter minute recharge time, which is nice. I do like seeing that. I just overshot that. Okay, let's see what that parse is. If you have a T6 Infinity box, would I recommend holding off on using it for a little bit? There's always new things incoming. Dan would be my response. There's always new ships that are going to be added to the lockbox. So, it's always worth just hanging on if you don't have something you explicitly want right now. Is he showing off by soloing Borg TFOs? This is more of testing the accessories. Okay, so in the prior run that I just did, where is it? As soon as it loads. So in the prior run, I just want to screenshot this so we can compare experimental weapon damage. So in the prior run, my hexacannons were the 5th item here at 169k DPS right here. Now, in the run I just did using the Okinawa's experimental weapon, why do I feel like this is one of those experimental weapons where it'll be easier for me to look from the bottom? Okay, so there's 3 lines for this. There's the other one. There we go. Hopefully I am not in the way as I look at this, but so the prototype phaser hexacannons, they're over there. They did 169k. And the experimental weapon off the Okinawa, it's got 3 different modes, the way that it works. And let's see here. Yeah, three different entries. So 63k versus 169. I mean, that's just one run, but I've already seen testing from other people indicating that this wasn't doing too well. Creep still going through and testing. Yeah, the thing is, most experimental weapons they add to the game are just really underperforming. The thing is, as low as the numbers are for this one compared to the hexas, this would still probably be like a B or C tier experimental. Like there's experimentals that do far worse than that. Yeah. So the dual plasma charge launcher, that is the console from the Okinawa, that did 72.5k. Like that's not terrible. But I mean, you probably already have consoles that are, hitting around that. They're not. I mean, the plasma one off of the Gorn Hunter is not that far behind Dan, but yeah, the hexes are pretty much the best hexes or the best experimental weapons in most cases for most people. Yeah. How fast does the experimental weapon fire? That's a good question. No heart. Thank you for the follow. Thomas mentioned a Discovery Season 5 ship coming soon. I would expect most lockbox ships would just be additions to the Infinity. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the console visuals here before I go over to the Warden. Let's go into Advanced and just do Jupiter Gauntlet. Lazarus, how's it going? Yeah, I know that not everyone's into the like just the visual spam of all the consoles, so let's take a look at some of the visuals here. So I've got the experiment weapon from the Okinawa, the modular fusion beam, and the recharge time on that is not listed. I'm just seeing what the activation time is on the dual plasma charge. Has a good good activation time there, fraction of a second. Modular fusion beam, 8-second recharge. Yeah, so that's a. I mean, that it's a pretty common recharge time for experimental weapons. So, side pulse phasers here. Those have a half-second activation time. Okay, I'll go back and check that. I don't see anything there talking about the recharge time changing. Does the use of power trait work with OSS? I can test that actually real quick. So, use of power is the trade-off of the Proxima. I think that the timer on here, the 60-second timer between uses, I think that's a bit excessive. I think if that was taken down to 30, 40 seconds, this trait would be in a much better state. Okay, so use of power, and I'm going to hit OSS. Yeah, OSS did impact it. It just took a moment for it to actually show it. Yeah, so use of power can only go off once every 60 seconds, and it's up for 20 seconds when active. I mean, it's not terrible, but there are other C-store traits that you can go for to boost your crit chance and all that, like supercharged weapons. Epoch. Yeah. Okay, so that answers the Proxima trait. The Okinawa trait, don't really need to test that because that's just Cat 1. What was it? Weapons of War. Yeah, so the Okinawa trait, Borticus even said right on the stream I did catch that he said it is intended to be Cat 1. So this is 25% Cat 1. For reference, if I have an Isomag, which I'm pretty sure I've got one here, one of my Isomags is plus 39.4% for whatever damage type I have. And that's the same damage category that this new trait is in. So this new trait being Cat 1, that's a bit rough. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend going out and picking this the Okinawa up for the trait because 25% Cat 1. I mean, unless you're like a brand new player, and even then, there's other C-store ships that you can get that are going to have traits that are going to be better. Curse, very nice. So weapons of war and the Okinawa and the Proxima traits, I don't think most people need to worry about with how they currently are. I'm going to test the Warden one here in a moment, but let's go over the console visuals here and the experimental weapon. So here is the experimental weapon from the Proxima, or yeah, from the Okinawa. I can't English right now. So it does a different effect based on how far away from the target you are. We see it's like a beam there, and if I get closer, it does an even stronger charge. And now if I get within 3 kilometers for this final one, you're going to see that it does a massive charge. I was just trying to get out of that effect there, so wait another 8 seconds. Okay, here we go. And then you see it did just one big single electrical charge there, so that is the experimental weapon from the Okinawa. Now here is the side pulse phaser visual. This is the console from the Proxima. It would appear that after like 1 or 2 shots, the visuals disappeared for me. I'll hit that again here in just a moment. I'm only seeing it fire out one side of my ship. I guess I'm not in a good enough arc there for the other side. Let me go down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I just wasn't in a good enough arc. Okay, now the visuals are sticking around a bit better too. Yeah, so that is a neat little visual there. Grumpy, thank you for the 20. When's the animated series Aqua Shuttle due to drop? Only usable on Ryza, but it has a Subnitarian console. Oh no. I don't have an answer for you there. Yeah, I think as soon as you have, like, beams going out, you are going to have a harder time noticing that visual. So less like a stream of bolts, but more like a shotgun blast, yeah. Have already tested the Proxima console. That's the visual I'm looking at right now. And I did do a performance test. It did like a quarter of what the Kerala Broadside console did, and that was with me activating it more often because of the recharge time being so much lower on it. Again, here is the Proxima console. Oh. Oh yeah, keep in mind the target's got to be within 5 kilometers, so there is that range factor to keep in mind. Now, for the torpedo console off of the Okinawa, the dual plasma charge launcher, here is that. So those are destructible torpedoes. I don't think they split apart for me. Okay, I'm gonna fire it again. I believe both of them may have just been destroyed. Yeah, the timer on the Merv mode is weird. Bort said he'd look into it. Definitely. Definitely. That is... I'm gonna shoot this from really far away. Yeah, that timer, like, that visual when it does go off is awesome. But it takes too long, yeah. The 3 seconds isn't working correctly. So, the performance of that, I'd say it's underperforming right now. which is good for it because it was actually doing pretty well in that parse before. So if we can get that to go off, and do the Merv mode faster, that might be a bit more competitive against some of these other consoles. Yeah, they're also slow and they're targetable, which is a weakness. Can I shoot it again, please? Yeah. They should launch out and then Merv you.
Warning.
There it goes.
Shields failing. Left shields failing.
Both of them were shot down. Are they affected by projectile speed? That is a good question. Let me see. Do I have Swarmer Matrix on me? At a minimum, I can get the, what is it? Kinetic torpedo pre-fire sequence on here. As soon as I'm out of red alert. I don't know what's keeping me in red alert. Torpedo pre-fire sequence, and do I happen to have Swarmer Matrix on me? I do not. Okay, we should be able to see if it moves faster though, just with that that one. Though that target's about to die.
The enemy approaches projector station Gamma. Meet them in battle.
I'll keep launching them until they manage to get to the target. Just bear with me.
Shields failing. Rear shields failing. Hull integrity below 75.
Well, there they go. That time it moved. Yeah, they shouldn't be destructible. That's rough for using them. Okay. And the only console I have not looked at now is the... Do you think that temple for the destructible would work? It may help them, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't think I have that on hand at this moment, though. And the final console, I think I'm going to have to leave the map to get it.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
I don't know why I got put in red alert there, but...
Target's shields have failed.
Where's the kaboom? There should be an earth-shattering kaboom. Yeah. Mirage decoys. It's just being destructible makes it a bit rough. Okay, now I need to get the final console here to take a look at. It was in my inventory the entire time, right in front of me. It's going to be one of those days. And also the Hellbore trait, which I am going to drop SAD for. Hellbore Light. So I'll be taking that into an IC to test. But let's see this this console first. So let me head back in there. The issue is, Watts, that I'm on KDF right now, so I can't access Doomsday. I guess I mean, I could just grab the consoles on a Fed character, but I think we saw the point of it. Okay. Expanding sphere generator. Here is the visual for this.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Two targets within the sphere, they'll start to take radiation damage. Will the Hellbore trait be of any relevance? I believe so. Yeah, from what I understand, Hellbore should be like quite relevant. I don't know if there's a visual specifically for that, so I'm gonna leave the map here. Garan, thank you for the casual membership. Greatly appreciated.
Rear shields failing.
I don't believe any of the ship skins are bundle exclusive. It has a subtle effect. Worth using on a radiation EPG build. I don't have an answer to that, but I'm potentially. That's something I may not be able to test here for you right now because I don't actively have an EPG build set up. Hellbore will be relevant for a couple weeks before its nerf. Yeah, pretty much how it's going to go. Okay, I'm going to put that console back on, the expanding sphere generator. As I scroll right past it in my inventory. And I'm going to drop SAD for Hellbore Light, and we'll see how it goes. Don't think we've seen a meta accessory this year. We have. We have. There were some goodies in the 15th. The broadside console especially. Hank, I honestly don't know. That's a good catch. I don't know. I don't know if that specific bird of prey is in the game or not. You fight it at Caleb 4? Okay, there's the answer. Does the Corolla trait do decent numbers? Yeah, I covered some parse data with it in the one of the follow-up videos I did for that bundle. Mara, how's it going? I'm gonna take Hellbore in for the first time. This is my first run with Hellbore.
The situation is grim.
Oscar Live doesn't read it. I did hear about that. Yeah. Will do. Terrible Grumpy. Just one egg?
Surrender your vessel and prepare for assimilation.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Done. Additional data is available.
Shields.
Bit of a slower start there. Weapons off. No.
The Nanite drones can repair the trench. Stop that.
I need a trait for override subsystem safeties that removes the subsystem disable aspect of it. This is a pretty weak run so far.
Hull integrity below 50%. Rear shield.
I'm hearing a different sound. I'm guessing that is the Hellbore trait. Yeah, this is a really bad run. I'm guessing that console probably isn't worth using here. Okay. Expanding sphere generator did 34k for me in that run. That's the yeah. That's not really that good for me. Oh, did I miss a question here? Yeah, it's the woven console causing the smoke. Dan, thank you for the bits. Yeah. I could see expanding sphere generator being more useful in yeah, like a heavy EPG situation where you have a big grav well, you've got things, locked in place, but on a general do build, yeah. Cheops was saying D tier before and I'm seeing it. That 34k is just not really that good. You think the bundle's all about the space Barbie? Yeah?
The situation is grim. All
Sphere generator is a must slot on the Hope class. Terrible. Is it better to replace isomags with meta consoles for higher DPS now? Yeah, with the full uncon Voven meta, yeah, no isomags anymore. I will be posting an updated version of the crate build. In sometime in the near future. I was just waiting to see if any of the consoles or items from this bundle would be disrupting any of what I had on the build, and right now the answer seems to be no. If you don't have Voven, get Savin because it should be. We should be seeing that in Muds by the end of the year. Because up next is the Rex, right? Because we just had the Fakiri, was it Burjai Interceptor? I believe the Rex was after that, then the Voven. Or wait, am I off here? I think that's right. Yeah, just get saving, because Voven should be going to Muds, I would imagine, by the end of the year. Just got the store. I'm slipping on ships here. You're right. It was the store. The Burjai wasn't that further back. I don't remember. The Rex is next, and then after that, I think would be Voven. Yeah, yeah. If ISOMAG are no longer the meta, what about for carrier, those engineer pet consoles? It depends on what you're doing. If you're following the Uncon meta, you know, the playstyle there's shifted a little bit where with Uncon and Voven, you're basically every console slot is a universal console clicky. Can console players even properly use Voven? I don't believe so. I've got the Hellbore trade on right now, and the first run with it was not that impressive, but I'm gonna go back to my normal loadout and just have that trade on. Is the only difference. So let me get back up here. Hellbore Light, I'm running that instead of SAD. And I'll hop back in. Yeah, Mavrock, and that build has been used for more records in the time since. I have a problem and I've done more solo runs. So that currently has also the Kittimer, Hive, Cure, and there's no table for it, but also to hell with honor. I think my run the other day was right around. I think it might have been just under 4 minutes. I'd have to go back and find the VOD. But yeah, that is gonna happen, absolutely. Yeah. Terrible, Mara. Yeah, that is a very hard requirement. You gotta have the Uncon Involving console to drop Isomags. Really, you know, console players, if you're wondering what is the best build you can do over there, you know, given the activation limitations you guys have, because that auto ability activation is not as good as people think it is. Isomags. Isomags are the answer. That was a very long load time, which hopefully means I'm getting into a fresh, like a fresh core on the server, you know? No other maps loaded onto it.
The situation is grim.
Again, I'm testing the Hellbore trait. It currently does not show up in the real-time parse, so I have to look afterwards in the actual main Oscar parse. I'll catch up on chat here and these terrible comments in just a moment. Terrible Dan.
Ship is under attack.
You gotta wait for the premium 40-minute long video.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Done. Additional digdex available. The nanite probe should repair the transformer. Stop now.
Low right now.
A probe is closing in on a transformer. Destroy it.
Shields failing. All integrity below 75%.
Every run so far with this Hellbore trait just seems to be a bit lower for me, but that's just a me issue, I think. Like, I just massively screwed up my piloting. Yeah, there's a bug on Oscar right now where Hellbore is not showing up in the real-time parser. Now, I did see, was it you, Chiops, that was saying in the builds Discord that Hellbore seems to do better, like the lower your DPS is? Because I saw that there was comments earlier of people getting like several hundred K from it, yet I've had, was it you, Mara? Like, I'm not seeing insane results from it. Like, you can see the without it factored in versus with it factored in here. 2394 versus 2475 did like 79K for me here. Like it's multiple damage lines. I know that, but I just I'm not seeing the damage numbers like I was seeing other people mention. Casual in-game merchant vessel builds so I can anger people on Xbox and queues and events. Not great, not terrible. 3.6 Ronkton console. Oh no. I've not noticed any issue. I haven't used that one yet. Check gateway. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, the issue right now with ships like the Vern is the Ark Royal. You know, those hangar bays are just so important right now. Type 7s were a complete game changer. Type 7s are a force multiplier to have in combat, so meta wise, not having a hangar bay does put a ship at a pretty big disadvantage. $7 to die.
The situation is grim. All attempts to hail the starbase have...
Oh no, what have you sent me, chaps? Oh, okay, nothing too offensive. Yeah, look at this. Like, Cheops is over here getting, you know, hundreds of thousands of DPS out of this on an alt character. I'm not seeing anything like that in the runs I'm doing so far. Look, I never know with you, Cheops, okay? The Okinawa has four torp launchers. Imagine if that thing had had a secondary command. Like, would it have been that bad to have given the Okinawa commander, pilot, lieutenant commander command? Would that have really been that bad? That ship would be so much better. The sad thing is, like, to me, I think that's probably the best ship in the bundle, like, when it comes to, like, the actual stats of it. And that's because of how flexible that bridge officer seating is. But, you know, it's pretty rough when I'm saying the dual pilot seat ship is the best in the bundle to fly. I know, Stu, I know. But it would have at least been something. The reality is none of these ships should have went live with dual of the same specialization. They have raised the ship quality bar in the past couple of years to the point where the bar is ships have dual specialization seats, a dual specialization combo. And these summer bundles are a regression of that. Never gonna get to spend the 14K. Galactic, you don't like the Proxima? They've casualized dual specialization seating. Yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't beat the Eagle, like, people just want something else. What if we gave it 3 Miracle Worker seats? Terrible. Endeavor, I'm disappointed in you. So, Hellbore seems to be doing really well for everyone else. I just haven't seen good results from it so far. I'm going to go somewhere else where Hellbore may have more opportunity to do something, okay? Oh, you metagamers, you. Robert, good night. Maybe a non-Borg TFO? How dare you? How dare you say a non-Borg TFO? We all know that the only TFOs are Borg. Patch a 3rd ensign pilot seat. Yeah, BD, that used to be a joke. I think Zankethi even put it on one of the discords as Spencer's rule or Spencer's law. It was the better looking a ship is, the worse its stats are going to be. And the worse looking a ship is, the better its stats are going to be. Like, it just, you can't have both. It's going to be one or the other. You're going to have the looks or you're going to have the stats. But typically not both. Does Spencer even know how to play non-Borg TFOs? Packlid OP. Hey, for some people, the visuals of the Packlid are really good. I will give that a try after this.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
Resistance is futile.
I didn't actually hit my evasive, no.
Rear shield failing. Right shield failing.
I messed up there. My positioning was way too high, and I just completely bought it out. But let's see. Did that... And there's a better example of it doing a little bit more. I think it might just be an infected thing where it wasn't performing as well for me. But yeah, that was not a good testing run to see whether or not that was the case. Stargate, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Like, I know the Okinawa visuals. Like, I think it's a good looking ship. I think a lot of these new ships are good. It's just it's always like if there's 1 or 2 little changes to the bridge officer setup, like the ship would be in a much better state. It was fine playing with the Proxima. I don't want to hear that, Stargate. You're countering my point. I can't have that. If the ship wasn't what it is, it would be a good ship, yes. Exactly. Yeah, the lockout time for that is a bit annoying, Galactic. I agree. The uptime on that, the lockout, that should be altered. 60 seconds is too long. Which is exactly what you just typed. Okay. The drain line does better if you kill things slower. Longer target time on field means shields are up longer to drain. You want me to kill things slower, Mara? How dare you? So the takeaway for established players who have little appreciation for Barbie, there's not much here. The Warden has potential. Like the trait from this is legitimately good. It is able to do quite a bit, but the concern is Borticus apparently heard that it's like a pretty good performer on the stream and said that they were going to look into it right away. So the question is, you know, is even if the trait is good, is it going to be good? I missed a message from Darthon? You think time compression kills it? Okay. Yeah, the impression I have of Hellbore is the quicker you're able to kill things, the weaker it will become. But I think for most people, you're going to find that that trait is really good. And again, with how Hellbore is working right now, let me pull it back up. You trigger this for your weapons by hitting Beam Overload or Cannon Rapid Fire. So for CSV, you just have a dummy Beam Overload on, which you probably already have for your competitive engines, or if you have the World Razor's Cultural Conquest trait, you already have that on there. And then if you're doing Fire at Will, you could use Rapid Fire. So you don't have to explicitly be set up for Beam Overload or Cannon Rapid Fire to use this trait. You can use this just as a dummy proc. It sucks in advance though, just FYI. So it's a trait that's really good in Elite if you're not instantly killing things. So like for people doing random Elite TFOs, it's going to be like an amazing trait is what you're saying, G-Ups. Fob will never get anything nice. I wouldn't say that. Stu. It's just a matter of time. Eventually, they'll give us a Fa trait that that does what we want. Yeah, okay. Look, I've got a character name that I actually have a character name to make Fa great again. I used to open lockboxes on that character just to have that, you know, go across the across everyone's you know, game there. Spencer's second account is very hopeful about a Fa extender. His second account is just an optimistic guy. I did check Discord, Mara. Yeah, so Mara, I'm looking at Discord. Yeah, let me pull that up here. So here is a run that Mara had at a lower DPS level, and you can see how Hellbore massively increased the DPS. So I think for most people, with how Hellbore currently is, it would be a great addition to your energy weapon builds. But as you get into really higher level environments, you know, if you're able to really compress the time of runs down, then it's going to be an issue. Now, like Mary just said, that was on a free-to-play 300k DPS build, and that's an elite, right? Because I've also, like Chiaos was just saying, this needs targets to be alive for a little bit. And you're not going to have that in normal or advanced. So that was an ISC pug, okay. So it's a good elite level trait for a lot of people. But that's if it doesn't get nerfed. So right now, the only performance recommendation I have for this bundle is Hellbore off the Warden. And that is not guaranteed to remain as is. It's an elite level trait for those DPSers that are not elite. Yeah, and that was specifically an issue for me in ISC. So let me retry HS and see if I can get something better going. Is Legendary Avenger Pack still worth getting in the C-Store? Yeah, absolutely. It will. They said in stream that they know it's overperforming. Well, then rip. So, yeah. So if they're already talking about, you know, looking at balancing it, then there's no performance reason for you guys to go for the bundle right now. Plasma charge, I mean, if they can make the torps non-targetable and increase the speed, speed of the MERV, which they did mention that part at least, then that might help, but I mean, to be fair, Crenum Chronophage did get a little EPG hit not long after launch. I wonder, wonder if that was the entire nerf. Are the new Rising kits any good? Rapid Lithic Formation, isn't it? That one's like really, really strong in the right situations. Yeah, at this time, I don't really recommend going for the entire bundle unless you want, the bundle exclusives, unless you, want, just want everything for the skins and all that.
Warning, ship is under attack.
You will find clarity. You will have strength of purpose. You will be whole.
I'll back up a bit. I'm way too aggressive there. Timing-wise, this one seems to be going pretty good. 53 seconds is really good. Yeah, I'd say that's had an impact on first phase of Hive here for me. Double cutscene, I hate it.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy
Oh, Queen's up already?
and I will claim another.
Ah. Unfortunate. That would have been a record. That went really fast. That's going to be a crazy number. No way. Holy cow. You're telling me that did 900k that wasn't registered? That did 900... 900? No way. Hold on, let me... I can just send the map, it doesn't matter at this point. Get that parse back up. So that was just an infected issue for me. Borg Cube. Hellbore. Yeah, feedback got me. Yeah, so that was a lot of damage not accounted for. You know, looking at my real time versus what Oscar is showing. One-way ticket to Nerf City. That will be gone tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, Hellbore is really OP. It's gonna get hit. Like, it's gonna get hit. For reference, like, that was just like a random HSE run, and that would have been almost 2.5 mil solo. The current record for Hive prior to Hellbore, just under 1.7. Yeah, it's gonna get hit. That is... I can't... The one thing that's like actually like really strong in this bundle, it's too good. It's gonna get hit. So I would recommend you don't buy anything in the bundle right now for performance reasons, because it's too likely it's gonna get hit. Yeah, but your luck, I can't even pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Yui Koyoto, I can't pronounce names, I'm sorry. Old Coyote, okay, there we go. Yeah, $200 worth of Zen. The only thing is, if it ends up being promo or lockbox, which at most, look, if they ever put a good bot trade into the game, it's going to be premium. They're not going to dump that into the C store. They're not going to dump that into an event ship. That's going to be a premium ship. So just be ready for that. Yeah, Mara, I agree. I'm killing things too fast in ISC. No problem. They would make more money if it's in the Zen store. I mean, if they put it into a really expensive bundle, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, so that's overall a bit disappointing. Be ready for a premium fall trait, huh? Absolutely. Absolutely. It just was a question that popped up, Microvax. Yeah. I mean, you have to factor in the average amount of lockboxes or promo packs that are needed to be opened to acquire just one ship box. It's a couple $100. So every time you see someone's name flash across the screen, you know, you can assume that on average, a couple hundred keys or promo packs were likely opened, and that's a good chunk of money. On average, one of these T6 ships, to get one of these T6 ship boxes, what was the exact number? It was like low 200s on average, I think. Spencer confirmed. I did not say that. J88, thank you for the sub, by the way. Take a look at the builds Discord. It's in the description down below. There's a bunch of people on there. You can post what you have, and you'll get some feedback. Just post in the build help channel. Just remember, when you're ever asking for build advice, this is not your entire build. Remember, when you're asking for help, it's also your traits, your bridge officer stations, your duty officers, and even your power levels. Like, there are multiple factors to what a build is. It's more than just the status page. So literally going for the 12th bundle is still a better option. Got it. The 12th, 13th, 14th, and dare I even say the 15th. How long have we got before it's nerfed? Not long. Hold on. I'm typing a message here. Okay. I just sent a message in Oscar moderation just saying that we're probably gonna have to clear parses with Hellbore on it once the nerf goes through. You were hoping that this would be another heritage? Darth, it's because back in the day, everyone, like, Fire at Will was, like... Everyone was doing Fire at Will back in the day. Even though CSV was competitive and in some cases better back then, it was still everyone just ran beams, and they wanted to push people away from beams. I don't know, I am surprised, that CSV was made so easily accessible, with it also being the highest performance firing mode for range weapons, but yeah. I wonder what happened in the time between the 14th and 15th. It's like an entire player base cried out and suddenly was silenced by the feeling of anemic B- content. Oof. Yeah, Picard, I think this bundle, even if there's something performance-wise that looks good right now, and there very much is with Hellbore, just hold off, because it's gonna get hit. That's just the reality of the situation right now. Is the Warden has a really OP trait on it. It's the best edition in the bundle, and it's on the radar to get hit. No tort boats? Oh no. Look, I'm not against tort boats. I'm burnt out on tort boats, okay? That's a me issue. I'm just burnt out on torps. It was mentioned it takes hours to master a ship. No, it takes... You're going to spend 5-10 minutes setting the ship up. What, 5 minutes in an Elite Argala? Dan, I don't know. Why didn't they swap specialization seating around? I don't know, Galactic. I really don't know. It the decision with the bridge officer seating on these ships, which really is what hurts the value of these ships. You know, that there is a quality standard that we see with the bridge officer seating on ships that has been established over the past couple of years of having the two different specialization seats on there, a dual specialization combo. And for whatever reason, they feel like with these summer bundles they can get away not doing it. Most of these summer bundle ships aren't really relevant that long term. The heritage bundle was like the exception, and they lucked out by just happening to get ships with loadouts on there where they still worked even with the single specialization. But you look at the summer bundles before that. Like there was, hold on here, Federation Responder. You know, how many people are still talking about the Nobler, the Cabot? The Bozeman gets attention because its accessories are good. But when is the last time you saw someone talk about the Cabot or the Noble? And another one here, if I can find it. That was Federation Responder. There's one in between that, I believe. Flashback. Like, the Justiciar was good. The Cyclone got a little bit of attention briefly because its experimental weapon was a pretty good performer. But when's the last time you actually heard someone talking about the Cyclone or the Augur? The Justiciar gets attention because it still has a good enough layout. It works as a budget tank, and the console on it is one of the few jump consoles in the game. But, yeah. You forgot the Nike shoe ship pack exists? Yeah. I don't know, it's just these summer ship bundles are generally weaker, and, you know, Heritage lucked out this year. Went back to what we typically see with these bundles, where they're just not as good. Really, it's as simple as that. Hammer, that's just disgusting. Can anyone confirm if TMP styles have the lit Bassards as an option? I can go down and we can look at that. I've always said that there's like a little bit of a, well, it's not a little, there's a disconnect of understanding some things about the game, and this definitely feels like that. Yeah. So Proxima 2. And yeah, there is alternate nacelle options here. So yeah, you've got Proxima 2, Proxima 2 Alpha, Beta, with the lit up nacelles there. You know, they're not bad looking ships visually, it's just the stats. The only ship I can say I'm not, this is going to be probably a little bit controversial. There was one of the skins that I felt I personally just was not the biggest fan of. I love the TMP look here for the Okinawa. Okay, I love this. This skin's awesome. The Ventura, that's fine. But the Alameda, I don't know. Just this one, I just really am not as big of a fan. Might just be the material here. Yeah, with different materials, that helps quite a bit. I don't know. These red lines here are a bit annoying. Can I get rid of those? Is that possible? I haven't actually looked. Yeah, these like red lines going down the ship. Normally this stuff doesn't bother me, but yeah, this one not being able to get rid of that is a little bit annoying. Looks like Hydra. The Alameda is a nuclear vessel. Yeah. Emu Vesta. It looks like a Y-wing from Star Wars. Yeah. It's just it's really busy. That is the best way to put it. Compared to like the Okinawa here, like I think this looks great. And the nacelles here, there are multiple options for both of them, or for multiple of them. So you've got Okinawa Beta, Gamma, and that just changes what's lit up here on the nacelles. Let me do that again. Okinawa, Beta, and Gamma. Yeah, it's just an incredibly busy design. It's normally I am not really bothered by that stuff, but in this case it just is like it just did not do it for me. And you know that's gonna happen. Everyone's tastes are a little bit different. Not everyone's gonna like every ship design ever. Um I don't know. It's just those red lines. I think if you could remove those red lines, make it a little bit less busy, that would help. Why are they so long and pointy? I don't know. It's a good looking ship though. And this is another thing too where this ship not having command on it is just so disappointing because these are like torp launchers here, right? Set region FOV space 15. Oh no. Let's do ground. Like these are like this is where torps come out of the ship, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The Incredible G, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Like, if the saucer hardpoints might be cannons. But I know Triz was complaining about this on the Proxima. He really wanted there to be command on that ship. Like the Proxima and the Okinawa would both be better ships if they had secondary command. BD, the experiment weapon did quite a bit less than my hexes. I want to say it was like not quite a third, right around there though. How do I zoom in so far in the Taylor? I'm using the set region FOV command. So set region FOV ground 15. That's as close as you can get. Default is 55. Try some different Vanity shields. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's go up to space. I haven't looked at Vanity shields on any of these ships yet, so that's all that really is left to test here. I was having fun getting blown up on Elite. Try out the Terran Rep Gear Shield. I don't currently have that, but I should be able to get that. Or you're not talking about this one, you're talking about the actual shield, aren't you? $40? Nice. I think I got 4 or 5. I should have grabbed it on more characters. That was a mistake on my part. Okay. So here is stock on the Okinawa with the 24, 10 or 11 skin. And Vanity Shield wise, let's do... Well, let's start out with everyone's favorite here, which apparently is not actually in my inventory. You're loving the Proxima? Nice. Do I have them in my bank? Where have they disappeared? The YouTube ads are set up so they only go off like every half hour. I'm gonna go back down here, see if I can find where these Vanity Shields have disappeared to. When will a new bundle come out after this? I don't know when the next Zen Store bundle would drop. I mean, there's a chance we might get one later this year, but... Oh. Terrible. Damn ads. They are... Oh, over on Twitch. Set region FOV. Hold on, I'm going to type this in chat here. Oh, why didn't it? Twitch didn't do it correctly. That's interesting. There's a slash in front of it. I tried to put a period in front of it and it didn't take it. The next anniversary bundle would be in February or March of next year. Yeah, I tried to put one there just so I could put it in chat, but it messed up on me. Yeah, it's just the slash. There's no dot there. Yeah, they're decent, but they're not the best. This bundle is 11th anniversary good? No, the 11th anniversary bundle's better. Elite, Jeffrey, I haven't decided yet. I already got the Awani, so I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been terribly impressed with many of the ship releases this year. It's definitely felt like a bit of a weaker year when it comes to ship releases. Okay. You said to put this shield on and watch the visuals of the ship here. So this is the Terran. Yeah, I've seen people posting pictures of this being like really really neat with the glow there on that dome. Like it's not bad with the Terran rep shield, but it's still it's a bit busy to me. 3-piece Omega Borg rep. Yep, I can do that. There's your Borgified look. Okay. Yep, I can get to that here. Let's do Platinum quick. For once, I actually don't think Platinum does much for this. Platinum is usually one of the better Vandy shields, but it doesn't fix this this 2411 skin. Here's section 31. Owl. I thought I had the Lucari on this character. Hold on here. I need to grab that from Lucari. Swap the nacelles for the Vandy nacelles. It makes a difference. Oh yeah, I did see that there was an option for that. Yep, let me go do that here. The Y-Wing is awesome. I don't have all of the Vandy shields. Just be aware of that. Will I be going for the T6 Voth Bulwark on release? I don't know. I really don't know. No notification came up for this. I think it might have been because I think I scheduled this like 45, 50 minutes ahead time. That's probably my bad for that. Okay, so let's retry section 31. There we go. Yeah, I mean that looks a little bit different. It's not lit up. Yeah, I mean, you can make any ship perform well enough to get you through the content the game has. It just... yeah. Yeah, I see that now. A little bit more glow there with the Terran one. Looks are subjective, okay? Always important to keep that in mind. For $100, I'd rather have variety in ships up to current standards. Yeah, I agree. I feel like they've raised the bar for ship design, and like I said earlier, the summer bundles, and especially this one, just didn't hit that bar. The quality of this bundle is not the same as the other ones we've gotten in the past year. I think Lucari is complete now, so I can... Yeah, I have that on other characters, just apparently not on this one. Okay. Here is the Lucari with the Tron lines on it. The Lucari rep shield always looks pretty cool. Like that, the way it lights your ship up in a dark environment is really cool. Yeah. And, you know, I know they understand that many of us will pick up new ships and just fly them for a short duration before we go back to our main ships. But, you know, it would still be nice if the new ships were good enough that we may want to make them our main ships, you know? Like, some of these ships here, some of the skins they have on them, they look awesome. But I don't want to fly them on a daily basis. Like, the Proxima, I flew that to level it up to mess around, just to see if the trait scaled up with OSS the way we hoped it would. And I'm never going to fly that ship again. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Proxima. Yeah, I saw that, Stu. I'll be mentioning that likely in the next news vid. Back to the Delkina. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything for right now. You know, in the next couple days I'll be putting out more content for this bundle, but the one thing that looks or that is really good from this bundle is currently overperforming massively. Has it been 30 minutes? Can I do another solo Hive? It has, okay. I'm going to do a solo Hive here and then wrap things up. So if there's any final questions you guys have, you know, throw them in here. But it is getting a bit later in the evening, and yeah. I'll heal sub nuke for me. I'm gonna just do it solo. The sub nuke is part of the challenge. Okay. I apparently need to craft more batteries. I'll worry about that later. What ship is the winner of the group? I mean, the Warden is right now, but it's gonna get nerfed. The starship trade off of it's crazy powerful, and it is absolutely gonna get hit. $422k Hellborn in a casual ISC FOD build just now. This Hive is taking a while to load. That's typically a good sign, though. Means I'm getting shoved onto like a new server thread or whatever. I need more coffee. By the way, I mentioned this earlier. There's giveaways up in the CasualSAB Discord, and there's going to be a few others posted here in the next couple of days. I have received some T6 coupons to give away, and I'm going to be sending that up. Anything good from the new bundle? The Starship trade off the Warden is absolutely insane, but it's going to get nerfed. So right now, the best answer I can give you is wait to see what happens after the nerfs and
The gift.
base your purchasing decision off of that. Yeah, I'm normally not able to be quite this aggressive. Missing? Oh, just some random sphere. CSV misfire, gotta love it.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
I got away in time, but that feedback probably just screwed this. It'll still be good though, because of that trait.
Projectile will be destroyed.
Okay, so 13. That's still gone. That's an annoying thing with Hive is the numbers will still tick down on real time when the queen dies. But let's see here. uh 2.14, like that was bad. Like that, the first bit was really fast. The second phase slowed down a bit. The CSV misfire sort of screwed me over, and then third phase with the queen feedback pulse I had to run. That's like a million. Like again, not necessarily a million, but that's a substantial amount of damage that I got there. Like again, like 900k. Yeah, that trait's getting nerfed. Hellbore, like it doesn't show up on the real-time parser, so that's why there's such a huge discrepancy between the real time and the final number in Oscar. That is a bug with Oscar that's, you know, going to be looked into. But yeah, that is an enormous difference. It's OP. It's going to get hit. It's not staying. I was going to ask on Twitch, is there any chance you could add more stuff to spend channel points on? Yeah, I can look into it. How many do you have, Dan? Thank you for the bits. Yeah. 49k. Win. That's not the type of balancing that is done in this game. The type of balancing that is done in Stowe is you take a Nerf hammer and you bash it down. It is shredding. It absolutely is. Again, thank you for the bit, Stan. Any final questions before I go? Again, I'm going to be covering this stuff more in the next couple of days. Vanity Shield wise, I think Max said he's currently on vacation, so honestly, I don't know if this bundle's quite good enough for Mac to want to spend, Xenon. Balance achieved with the hammer. Smash until all sides are nothing. Yeah. If you fly the Fleet Paladin, is it worth it to get the Warden? That's a good question. I want to do a comparison here. Let's do that quick. Okay, so Paladin. I mean, I guess, yeah, it would technically be an upgrade over the Fleet Paladin. Yeah. I mean, if you're wanting to go for it, I mean, you're gaining a hangar bay. You're gaining a hangar bay, and the bridge officer layout's going to be honestly just a smidge better because you can run a grav well on it. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can run a lot of uncons on the Warden, so if you want, yeah, go for it. Is the Ryza event worth doing this year? Yes. Yes. The ship is decent. Honestly, the Federation Intel Holo ship is better than any of the ships that were just released in this bundle when it comes to the sets perspective. Yeah, I mean, that is a weakness, for sure. You basically just have to fill the Commander Inge with, like, all temporal stuff, and then just use that Lieutenant Inge for Emerge Power to subsystem abilities. Yeah. I want to show you guys something. I was working on thumbnails recently, so this is what I have for the Holo ship. I like how that turned out, but this is what I set up for the Proxima. Which I guess I don't need the two there, do I? Yeah. Very appropriate. Channel points is on Twitch. It's when you watch streams over on Twitch, it'll give you channel points, and you can use them to do like redemptions. Tattoo American worker symbol on his forehead. Maybe it should have been the Picard gas by the view screen. I probably should diversify the Picard face palms, shouldn't I? Shouldn't always have it be Picard. I think there is a dual facepalm one, yeah. Would you ever add like a segment of what other ship types would work for it? You mean like are you talking Chef like what different sorts of builds would work on the ship? Is that what you're referencing, or are you meaning something else? Oh, like if the proxy was a different dread, yeah. H2O, how's it going, man? Been a long time. The issue is like that won't happen now. I would love to theory craft, maybe, I mean, that may be a good idea, like it was mentioned before, how they could have, or how to fix the timeless Legacy bundle. Timeless Dread is appropriate, though. I'm dreading my purchase. Any kind of dread would have been better than a side dread for Proxima. Yeah. I don't know. I think I've said, everything there really is for me to say about this bundle. Yeah, so bit disappointing. The only good thing, like the only really like S tier thing in the bundle is gonna get hit because it's too good. So performance wise, wait for them to do their nerfs and balancing here in a couple days to see how things end up afterwards. I'll I'm thinking of how I want to approach like reviews for this. I'll probably just start out with something similar to the 15th bundle where like in the next day or so I'll just drop like, a day one bundle review, just going over it like that. I don't think it's worth doing individual ship reviews right now, especially with potential balancing, happening soon. Senovita, thank you for the resub there, 3 months in a row. Greatly appreciated. Yeah. And I know not everyone focuses on DPS stuff. In fact, there's not as many like super DPS focused players as it sometimes seems, but I think at the end of the day, advocating for things that are better isn't necessarily just a DPS thing. It's just advocating for better products. At the end of the day, it's $100 bundle. I just, not even necessarily for, I want this to be the ultimate meta ship. It's just, I want the ships to be good. Like, I want these ships to be good enough that if someone wants to turn them into their main, that they can do it and not feel like they're losing out. Yeah. Gaz, the new broadside console is doing like a quarter of what the Corolla broadside console does. But one of the key things is Miracle Worker desperately needs some attention on their part. That's hurting a lot of ships. And engineering, there's a lot of feedback in the how to make ships better video and the associated thread. I know I didn't get all of my writing done for that, but there was enough in that thread that they could have pulled some ideas. So hopefully, we may see that they'll follow up on some of that. Like Miracle Worker and engineering desperately need help. What could fix Miracle Worker? So there's some abilities that should be uncons. That would help there, especially in the science realm. And in general, I think Mara had a really good write-up on the Reddit thread going over some ways to revamp some of those abilities. Yeah. Senovita, how am I doing? I'm doing good. Any date for the top non-lockbox noon premium? Top non-lockbox non-premium starship traits. I don't have that info here. Vic, how's it going? I'd say write that in the Discord because I'm starting to fade out a little bit. I'm wrapping up the stream here, so just ask in the Discord and I'll think about that one a bit more. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. So again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. I need to step away from the computer for a little bit. Yeah, no problem. Is there anyone for me to raid over on Twitch here? Let me see quick. Send y'all over to Strom. There we go. I was mentioning how I don't see ads before, and then I see an ad over on Twitch. Who knows? Who knows when the nerf will happen. Yeah, she's doing fine. Her back's still having some issues. But her leg's been better. Okay, Twitch is heading out. Yep, no problem. And remember, there's giveaways going on over in the CasualSAB Discord. I'll be following up with a news video probably tomorrow, going over all the sales and stuff, because there's a bundle sale announced on console as well. So, news video tomorrow, and potentially my first review for the bundle stuff. So stay tuned for that. But that is it for now. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you guys around.